your comments. You don't always have to do a poll about what's going on in your life, but you definitely want to find out what's going on in theirs. Okay, number 9. If you are to make it about you, make sure that the subscribers or the viewers of your page, they feel like they are in control. So if you do a poll and it's specifically about you, it should you should ask a question like, should I read a book or watch Netflix tonight? Yes, no, Netflix or, book. Again, like it's like choose your own adventure. Like, again, like they're subscribing to you, they're interested in you. So they're going to want to kind of help you make these decisions. I mean, they're kind of harmless in that regard, but you're going to get a lot more engagement if someone is feeling like, oh, okay, I see this person that I'm a fan of who maybe in many cases they see is kind of above them, that now they can kind of get you to do something or at least have some control over that. That's going to get you a lot more engagement. And then, number 10, encourage predictions. People love being right. So, if something's going on in the world, I use an example like the Super Bowl, who's going to win the Super Bowl, the Patriots or the Chiefs? People are going to want to throw their 2 cents into that argument. It's harmless. So pick basically like harmless kind of polls. I wouldn't, go into like politics or any like touchy subjects. I would just go with like universal, harmless subjects that people could predict what was going to go on. You don't want to cause a lot of debate. You basically just want people to, choose something and be passionate about it and then move on. So nothing too bad. But definitely, encouraging predictions with your polls will get you a lot more engagement. And then also you want to stay relevant. So number 11, stay relevant. So, you want to stay real, stay humble, with your polls, but you don't want it to be about money. The one thing that, everyone knows is going on OnlyFans is that they're spending money and that they're there because they have spent some money to subscribe to you or they're buying your content. But doing polls about, should I charge $5 for my page this month? It just comes off a little tacky and it's actually going to, I think, chase people away. So I would not do polls that had anything to do with money. How much should I charge for my, custom content? Again, this is just the last thing anyone wants to see, is something having to do with money. You can go, for example, like to a racetrack. When I was younger, I went to a racetrack and I remember going in and the last thing they wanted you to pay attention to was that anyone was spending money. You go in, you sit down at a nice table, you eat, a nice dinner, the horses are right in front of you, you went and placed a bet at some point, for fun, but the whole ambiance of the whole place is about, having a good time. And then the bill comes at the end, but never is there like a huge thing about money. Money is in the background. So if you're doing polling, if you're talking to people in your comment posts or whatever, don't mention money. You want to mention everything else. You want to wow them with all the surroundings. And everyone knows that in the end, it's kind of about money, but you don't necessarily have to make your polls about that. So those were some ideas as far as OnlyFans polls and ones that you'd be able to get attention from. Now, obviously, when you're implementing the polls, you would take this and you wouldn't just shove 20 polls a month, on people. I would basically do maybe like one poll a week. I would really think of a poll, that was going to work for you and keep people engaged, but I wouldn't avalanche people with polls overall. And, at a point also, and I've talked about this, not flooding or crowding your OnlyFans page. Once the poll is done and it's sat there for a week, I delete it, unless it got a whole bunch of likes. I would just constantly make a new poll, and that way your page doesn't get cluttered with polls, because again, when people come through, they don't necessarily want to see a bunch of polls. They want to see pictures of you, videos of you in your feed. So I would go through, I would create these, and I would just delete them after they've run their course as far as effective, because new people will come in and you want to create a new poll for them. So again, I would do maybe one poll a week, two a month, and try to get decent engagement for that particular poll. And obviously it helps if you have more people on your OnlyFans page. If you're just starting out, you might also want to gear your questions to people, your poll questions to people if you're new, based off of that. So you don't want to jump right into some of polls that would require bigger audience. You want to go right to the engagement ones I mentioned about what you might want to see on the page, what you're doing today, basically trying to engage with people about, what the future of your page is going to be. But once you're established and you have more people following you, you can go into some of these broader polls, and we'll get 30, 40, 100 different people who will participate in them. Okay, great. So I hope this podcast has been very helpful. Again, my name is Richard Lewis. I am the founder of OnlyFans Hero and an upcoming platform called Stripper.fan. You can find this podcast on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. You can find us on Reddit at r/OnlyFans Secrets, which is a marketing subreddit on Reddit. It's a lot saying Reddit over and over again. And you can also find us on OnlyFans itself at onlyfans.com/OnlyFans Hero, where you can get the latest updates on this podcast and you can follow for free. So please do so. We're also on TikTok at OF Secrets Podcast. And as always, we are on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where we run hourly free promotions for OnlyFans creators. Please jump on there and take advantage of that. That account continues to grow by 500 plus followers every day, both creators and subscribers. So it's growing, and it's growing because of you guys following it, and I really appreciate that. And as always, you can reach out to me directly at OnlyFans Hero on Twitter with any ideas for episodes, any questions you have about OnlyFans. If you have any questions for our Sunday Secrets episode, please drop those, on Twitter or on OnlyFans. I would love to get more of those questions. I love them. And if you have, any other issues or concerns about OnlyFans, feel free to reach out to me on there. And as always, I really appreciate you guys listening to this podcast. Appreciate you supporting it so much. Please continue to do so. Please continue to subscribe and follow. And if you can leave a review for this podcast anywhere, please do so. All right. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.